Thinking about buying your first home, there can be a lot of challenges when you do that.
It can't be.
I'm Bonnie Barnes with Cisco Realty, serving the greater Grand Lake area, helping you find home and feel at home.
I'm Lindsay Toy-Swicks, Realtor with Cisco Realty.
And today we want to talk about some of the challenges you can face as a hometown buyer and how to get over those challenges.
Absolutely.
You know, buying a first home is exciting.
It's really exciting.
But it's a big deal.
It's one of the biggest choices you're going to make.
That's right. You know, and I think one thing that might make people hesitant about buying is the myth that you need to put 20% down on a house. Because you really don't.
No, there's a lot of programs out there they'll help you out.
Even conventional loans anymore, if you have a good credit score, you can get a conventional loan for 3% down.
Yeah.
FHA, you can get them for 3% down or maybe even a little less. And there's always USDA too, which a lot of people don't talk about.
No, and I mean, most of the homes in our area qualify for USDA.
Yeah, and USDA is 0% down. You still have to have closing costs, so we're not saying you go in with no money at all. But 0% down payment if you get a USDA. Now the house has to qualify.
Yes.
Which in our area, at least location-wise, most of the homes would already qualify.
Yeah.
But now we also got to look at the same things as we would for FHA or VA. You know, no peeling paint, you know, other safety issues. So there are certain things.
Yeah.
But it's a good option.
It's definitely worth talking to your lender about because in addition to those programs, sometimes there are programs different times of the year. Welcome Home has funds. And then there's different programs depending on your career choice too.
Exactly. OFA has programs for nurses, first responders, policemen.
Yeah.
They can all get help with their down payment. And, you know, that's something to talk to your lender about.
Yeah.
And if your lender don't offer it, talk to another lender.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a one size fits all. I mean, there are different places that offer different programs, and you know, you don't know unless you ask.
That's right. There are a lot of ways, you know, to get that money for that down payment, or not have a down payment.
Yeah.
In order to purchase your first home or second home. You know, and another thing I think sometimes can hurt or help a first-time home buyer is relying on relatives.
Yeah.
Relatives, they can be great for support.
Yeah.
But many times they haven't bought in a long time.
That can definitely be challenging.
Yeah, you have to remember your relatives mean well.
Absolutely.
But your agent is the professional.
Yes. I feel like there's very good intentions, you know, with family members. Absolutely. But if you have you know, a parent or an aunt or an uncle who hasn't purchased since the 90s, the housing market has shifted a little bit.
Exactly.
So,
but we welcome anybody along on the house hunt.
Absolutely.
You know, anybody you want to bring along is great.
Of course.
More moral support, the better when buying your first home. You know, what about the lender itself?
The lender itself, I mean, I feel like the biggest challenge to being a first-time home buyer overall is the unknown. You don't know what you don't know.
Exactly.
You've never done it. So if you can collect a group of people who you're comfortable with and know what they're doing and they've done it before, they can guide you. That's going to be your best resource.
Yeah.
So,
and a local lender is probably much better than someone online.
Yeah.
You know, local lenders a lot of times have fewer fees. And they're more available.
They're more available. And a lot of times you have a relationship with them. So you're comfortable asking questions and, you know, and they are generally better at communication. Getting back to you.
Exactly. And if you don't know who to talk to, ask your agent.
Yeah.
Your agent has some lenders that they can recommend and help you find someone that'll work well with you. So, is there anything else that you want to talk about?
I mean, I do think that right now it can be challenging for anybody, but especially a first-time home buyer because of the inventory we have.
Yes.
Depending on the program you may be using for down payment. If you're going FHA, the inventory is dictating it it's a little harder.
Yeah, there's not a lot
possible.
It's not a lot of homes on the market right now.
No.
There's not a lot of homes in the lower price range right now. And what is in the lower price range, a lot of them won't qualify for those types of loan programs.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's not impossible.
No.
You have to be patient.
You have to be patient, and you have to be ready to go when you do find one, which is why it's important to get that, pre-approval from your lender and know what program you're using. So when it's time to write that offer, everyone's on the same page.
Yeah. And also remember, this is your starter home.
Mm-hmm.
It's not your forever home.
Nope.
So there may need to be some compromises for this first home to help you build that equity and eventually get yourself into that forever home, your dream home.
Yep.
But, so there's a lot of different things that go into buying a home, which can be, difficult for that first time home buyer.
Oh, yeah.
But that's why you need a really good team, a good agent, a good lender, everyone on your side to help guide you.
Absolutely.
And as far as the costs, we mentioned down payment. There's also closing costs.
Mm-hmm.
However, we can ask the seller to help pay those.
Mm-hmm.
There are home inspections, which are very important.
Yes.
So you will need to make sure that you have money to pay for your home inspection. There's appraisal fees.
Yes.
So that's something that you will, no matter, even if you have an USDA no down payment loan, you're still going to need to pay for your home inspection and your appraisal fees. And then there's moving expenses.
There's moving expenses. And, I wish I could say that, I'm always so surprised at how low they are. When you move, it doesn't matter if you're moving into your first home, your 10th home, down the street, across the country. There are moving expenses, and that is just the moving itself. Mm-hmm. The boxes, the tape, or the movers. It's the setting up utilities. It's always something. So
the first year home insurance.
Yep.
So there's definitely some things that you need to think about and be prepared for.
Yes.
When buying your first home, but it's not impossible.
No.
I have 2 first-time home buyers under contract right now, and one's only 20 years old.
I love working with first-time home buyers. It's very satisfying.
Yes.
You can almost see it when they walk into the home and they can picture themselves in it. It's very satisfying to watch that.
Mm-hmm. I love when these young people are able to save up and get that dream of home ownership. It's such a big step.
Yeah.
And for someone, like I said, that I'm working with now, who's only 20, he can't even buy a drink, and he's buying a house. It's kind of amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Not everybody is able to do that.
Yeah.
But whenever your first time is, whether if you're 20, 30, 40, it's always exciting to buy your first home. And a little intimidating.
It can be. That's why we're here. We're here to help you.
100%. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
I don't think so.
Well, if you're looking for your first home or second or third, we're here to help you. See you next week.